I want to start with you, Miss Kandy, because I have to say, in your Meet the Queens video, I think you gave the most relatable moment personally in Drag Race history when you said the thing you were most concerned about was the food. And let me tell you, I because that for me, I was like, that would have been my first concern too. So walk me through. I want to know just what, first of all, if the food lived up to expectations, but also walk me through in this crazy quarantine season, what the food situation was like for you guys throughout the season.
Well, I love to eat, and surprise there. And the food on set was very LA, and it was very healthy. And I will say it was very good. They kept us really well fed while being on set. I can't complain about the food, although I will say every single time we had a meal, there was this dessert that came along with the meal, and it was this one chocolate chip cookie, and it'll come with your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you know, it was like a drug ring. All the girls would be like, "Girl, I'll give you your cookie for your steak," or like, "I'll give you your cookie for like your chicken." And it was very much that. But they fed us really well on set. So the one thing I was worried for, I I got good.
So you like back to like cafeteria, middle school, like I'll trade you my cookie for your sandwich.
Very much that.
I would pay upwards of $600 for a chocolate chip cookie. So I feel like that's, a lot of the audience are going to resonate with that. Joey, I'm just going to turn to you quickly. I was excited to hear that in your Get to Know the Queens video that you were not a wig queen. And I was so excited to hear that. And then 5 seconds later, I had the vivid image of Michelle in week 2 being like, I know this is your thing, and I just want to see you break out of that. Was that something that you were worried about going into the competition? And were you excited to be a little bit more versatile in that? And how has recording Drag Race changed that aspect of your look?
So yeah, the aesthetic is definitely like lipstick, lesbian, biker chick. I like very pink. I like live for pink. And like going into the show, I would be an absolute idiot if I like didn't know that this was going to be talked about. I knew like fully it was going to be a thing. And I actually like, the ironic thing is I have so many wigs. I like keep buying them and I like look at them and I'm like, I should really like use these because I like love hair. And every now and then I do want to feel like a hair moment and I do it. But this is the aesthetic right now. But I definitely did bring a lot of ammunition because I knew right off of the bat that was going to be like the thing that stuck out. So I was definitely prepared.
You have to be. Olivia, I want to go to you. One of the things that I love, or one of the things I love most about this season is sort of the disparate levels of both age and of experience of all of the queens. I think it's such a diverse group. And as somebody who's a little bit newer, I'm curious if you, first of all, when you auditioned, if you thought you were going to get it. And then once you saw, sort of the levels of experience in the workroom from some of these girls, how intimidating that was to sort of walk in and say, wow, there's some people here who have been doing this for decades. How scary was that?
I mean, yeah, I vividly remember recording my audition tape, and one of the questions was, how long have you been doing drag? And at the time, my answer was 1 year. So it definitely was a shock when I got the call. But being there amongst amazing drag artists, it was just I really felt honored. And I also, although I am newer, I'm also very confident in the work that I put forward. And I'm very passionate about the art of drag and kind of just everything. So I definitely knew that I had the tools to kind of take me kind of far and grow into that crown type of thing.
Yeah. To open it up to everybody a little bit, Dan and I were talking, I feel like every promo for Drag Race for every new season, RuPaul is like, girl, you don't know what's going to happen in this season. This is going to like subvert all your expectations. The queens are going to be performing open heart surgery. So I'm curious about how you prepared. So you got the call, you're going to be on RuPaul's Drag Race. Did you immediately buy more wigs? Did you start preparing your Snatch Game impression? Did you just have a snack and take a nap? What was that? I'll start with Kandy, if that's okay.
So in the middle of getting ready for Drag Race, I was also filming a music video with Alaska in Los Angeles. And if anyone knows me, you know that I live in New York City. So, not only having a very short time to get ready for the show, but also having to get ready for a music video was kind of nuts. But I just did what I do best, and that's just do me. I didn't have like a game plan going into Drag Race. It was just like, I'm gonna go there, have a good time, and if they like me, they like me. If they don't, girl, I went there, and it is what it is. And I think that if you overthink things, that's when shit starts to fuck up for you. And with my luck, that's exactly what happened. So I was like, girl, we're just gonna go in there. Listen, there are some outfits I didn't even bring wigs for. Okay, I was like, they're on set. So
I wanted Joey's.
I got him, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joey, how did you prepare?
How did I prepare? So when it's right, it's right. And so like when everything was in lockdown, I was like, I know I haven't gotten the call yet, but I know I'm gonna be on Drag Race. Like I manifested this shit out of this. It was on the vision board. I like saw it every day. Like when it's right, it's right. So then like there were no shows going on. So I took that time to like invest in new things, invest in new hairs, get new looks, because I knew when it's gonna happen. So let's just try to like beat that. And I think that actually really helped a lot. And then it was like, aside from like the items that you need to prepare, like once we found out, it's like the race has started. You're in a completely different mental place and you can't talk about it.
Right.
So now you're like, oh my God, like this is crazy. And I've always wanted to like bounce opinions off of people or ask them questions, but you can't do that right now. So that was definitely interesting. But baby, we made it.
And Olivia.
Well, to piggyback off of what you said earlier with the, unexpectedness, I read a lot about open heart surgery in preparation. I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to make sure every decision I made was kind of completely mine, and I had like a very vision type moment with each of my like looks and things that I brought. So I think just like reminding myself, it was a lot of conditioning, like reminding myself why I even started drag, to connect with people, to learn and grow, not only about myself as an artist, but as a person too, right? So that was kind of my overall preparation for the show. And then you gotta kind of just throw actually all of that out on the plane there and just do it.
For sure. Well, something Sam and I have been enjoying asking all of you guys this season is just sort of about the future of drag in general, because we're living through such a crazy time and places are closing. And so many of these bars and clubs that are closing are predominantly queer spaces where a lot of drag shows happen. And it's a troubling time. And we know, well, you guys know better than us, but drag queens adapt, they evolve, they make it work. But at the same time, I have to imagine there has to be a little bit of fear about where things go from here. So I would love to hear from all of you. We can start with Kandy about just the future of drag and where you see things going. And if you do have any fear about once this is all over, how things look.
I would be sitting here lying if I wasn't scared, but I think that people are so hungry and thirsty for drag and the love of being with the community and being at a bar with everyone that they love and know. I think that what we knew drag to be before this huge phenomenon is just going to be even bigger when we come back. Remember, 2020, there weren't no tours. There weren't any drag shows. We weren't out at a bar. We weren't having a good time. We didn't get to enjoy season 12 the way we would want to enjoy season 12. And with 2021 coming up and, with the vaccine and just all these, a new president, I think that I see a very bright future, not only for drag, but for the world. Sure. And in answering question, my name is Kandy Muse, contestant number 1.
Let's go to contestant number 2, Joey. Same question.
Hello, distinguished panel of judges. I am contestant number 2.
You know what?
Vying for the title of Sickening Queen. I'm just kidding. 2020 has been such a year with a lot of ups and many more downs. And I feel like so much has happened, not just COVID, but the Black Lives Matter movement. We just had an election. And Drag Race, the demographic is very young. And we have a big responsibility as Ru Girls this year because we are political figures, whether you like it or not. And because we have such a young demographic watching, like I'm so excited that we get to like take this platform and use it to educate the children on like what politics are, like how to vote if you haven't voted yet, because this is a whole new generation of kids. I am like really nervous because I mean, who knows what's to come in the future? We've got vaccines and things like that. But there's no concerts, there's no shows, and I'm like a performing queen. That's my jam. But like you said, like drag, it's very fluid and it will adjust accordingly. So I'm not gonna call those shots because that's not my place, but I'll go with the punches.
Sure, love that. All right, Olivia.
That is so great, Joey. And I always like to say, I get asked all the time, like, are you a political queen? You come from the city? And I say, honey, I'm Black and I do drag, so that's political.
Yeah.
And I definitely think it is our duty and obligation. I mean, when you sign up to be a drag queen, you get a megaphone in the mail. So I definitely think season 13 is going to do that. The Renaissance of drag, as Kandy Muse says. And something definitely revolutionary for 2021. So we have to remember everything that we learned in 2020, all the communication that we've done on our devices, all the hashtags that we used, all the amazing protests we attended safely. We'll remember all that moving forward and keep it pushing and growing our huge drag family here at RuPaul's Drag Race.
Amen. Kandy, how big is that bottle of wine?
Well, this is the second. I already went through one. This is the second
Girl!
one.
That's the family size one, Kandy.
It's a special occasion.
No, listen, I love it. I fully support it. I'm jealous I'm not drinking yet.
Listen.
Only a matter of time.
Drag this early. And wine after two. People are gonna think I'm the drunk of the season. I promise you.
Right.
Somebody has.
It's 8 p.m. somewhere in the world.
There you go. Well, Kandy, enjoy that wine. Have an extra glass for me. Ladies, thank you so much for your time. We are so excited to watch the season. It's such a fun, diverse cast. I was saying to Sam, like, I don't know, maybe there's just something in the water and I'm like just ready for Drag Race, but there's something about this season that just excites me more than seasons, past. There just seems to be something in the water about you girls. I don't know what it is, but
Renaissance of Drag Race, baby.
Right. And listen to your intuition. Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Well, thank you guys, and hopefully we will chat soon. Congratulations on the season.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you
So much.
Bye, guys.